always had a boyfriend, and I was always faithful to my boyfriend. I criticised a lot of my gay friends for being so promiscuous. For God's sake, find yourself someone and settle down and just live with one. Otherwise you give the gay community a bad name. That's what I told them. So I didn't do that. But I don't know why, maybe I needed to go, I don't know, maybe I did. But I didn't go into the urinals. I knew that was dangerous. I went into a locked cubicle and locked the door. And you can't help sometimes thinking, to read the little things that are written on the wall of these toilets, cubicles. Lots of little nursery rhymes and telephone numbers. And the one that really I've always remembered was written very clearly in felt pen. My mother made me a homosexual. And underneath, some bright guy had written, another guy had written, if I gave her the wool, would she make me one? Now how can you not laugh and cheer you up and, oh God, that's wonderful. Lots of little rhymes. I can only remember that one because I think that's the best one. But then the police are always there. Always there's police there, waiting up in the loft. And they probably knew me. Because my name was on the queer list. So they probably knew. They recognized me when I went in. And they thought, oh, we'll catch him this time. Because they've never been able to catch me before. Well, I was always very careful. So I heard a scuffling, and then I saw a policeman's head over the top of the door. 6 foot, 7 foot. One policeman had lifted the other one up to look over the door. He didn't see anything because I was sitting there fully clothed, doing nothing. But the man next door, at that time, I didn't notice, but he put something through the hole, pushed the paper out and pushed something through the hole. And they saw that, and that's what they told the magistrate, that I was committing. I didn't do anything. How would I touch another man who was 10, 15 years older than me? He was arrested, the same as I was, and obviously he pleaded guilty. And he was found guilty, and it was all in the local paper. He had 4 grown-up children, and every little detail was in the local paper. I obviously pleaded not guilty. And I thought about it, and I employed a very senior King's Counsel. I forget his name. Sir Peter Rawlinson, I think. He was the one that was the top one. And I told him everything. And he said, George, don't worry. There's no jury ever going to find you guilty. I said, no. But all the evidence is they're going to know that I'm gay. I can't afford that. I'm employing 40 men. I can't do that. So I said, what are you going to do? Only one thing I can do. Just go to the local magistrate and plead not guilty, which I did. And as I say, if I've said once, many times I've told people I really am the luckiest, happiest old gay guy in the world. All my life I've had luck. Whatever I've touched and done, I've been lucky. I knew all the local reporters, the 3 local reporters, Maidenhead, Slough and Burnham, the local reporters of the local newspapers, because I was the commissioner of the Scouts and I kept giving them lots of material for what I was doing. And I went to see them. I don't think they were gay, but they were very sympathetic. And they listened. And neither one of them was in court. So, no publicity whatsoever. Nothing. Not the slightest, not one word. Again, you see how lucky I am. But my senior commissioner, and I wouldn't have said this if he was still alive, he's dead now. But he was a great friend of mine, and he was gay. And he was my senior commissioner, the county commissioner, in the whole of Buckinghamshire. I went to see him. And he had stopped being gay, like myself. Well, I stopped and got married, and so did he. He got married and he stopped being gay. And I told him. And he didn't believe that there wouldn't be any publicity. I suppose that's what he thought, that was impossible. And he told his mentor, someone, he was a very inexperienced county commissioner, and his mentor was the county commissioner of Kent, and he advised him. He told him, and they both came to see me. And said, George, sorry, that's it, you've got to resign. So I was evicted, more or less, from the Scout Association. Whereas I could have stayed. Nobody knew, nobody would have known anything about it. But no, I made the mistake of telling my friend who was gay, and he didn't believe me. He didn't believe that there wouldn't be any publicity. In a way, it's another little notch on my luck, because I had been working very, very hard for 7 or 8 years, and a tremendous amount of work in organising a camp over 6 different counties of 40 different boys in all sorts of, some of them quite ill, but in wheelchairs, and organising all this with a camp, with a nurse, with a doctor, with medications, and make sure you've got everything for their well-being. That's very exhausting. And I sat down and said, maybe it's a good thing. And it was. I bought myself a boat and forgot about it. Forgot about everything and enjoyed myself sailing.